I saw an ad the other day, and quite frankly, it's one of the best campaign ads of the season. I want you to listen to this ad from Jason Emmert, who is running for Congress in Tennessee.
It all starts with a good foundation. If your foundation is solid, it'll take care of itself for many years to come.
Hey, Jason, are you really going to help President Trump build the wall?
You bet I am. I'm Jason Emmert, and I approve this message because, unlike Butch Jones, when I say I'm going to do something, I actually mean it.
Pro-Trump, pro-wall. Conservative Republican Jason Emmert for Congress.
Brick by brick.
He's building a wall, brick by brick. On the Newsmaker line from Tennessee is Jason Emmert. Jason, welcome to the program.
Todd, it's great to be on. I appreciate you having me. That ad was a lot of fun to make, and it's certainly gotten a lot wider play than we ever imagined it would.
Well, I was watching a movie about Lyndon Johnson years ago, and he said all you need is to show the ad once, pay for one time for it to air, and then let the media do the rest. So that's what we've done for you.
Yeah. Well, it's been great. You know, my wife and I, we want to show kind of a funny side of who we are. This campaign has been very serious. We want to draw attention to something that, as just Tom mentioned before, is serious to our nation. It's critical to our national security, but we got to bring some humor into it to draw that attention. I think that we knocked it out of the park when we did that.
You know, it's interesting. We have seen other states, Georgia, for example, where you've had a lot of Republicans running for office, and I know you've got a lot of folks there in Tennessee's 2nd Congressional District that you're going up against. How are things out on the campaign trail?
Things are great. I mean, the biggest thing for us is I'm not a career politician. I've been a businessman and an entrepreneur. I'm chairman of the Young Republican National Federation. So I've had the ability to work with President Trump on their domestic policy and work with key players around the country to really get this agenda up and going. I've been proud to champion that. And I think people see that where my passion is. You've been around East Tennessee long enough that you know when someone is passionate and their heart's in the right place, that people start paying attention, and they want something different. And being young, enthusiastic, and having just a heck of a time in this campaign, we've gotten a lot of support, and really it's coming down to the wire here this last month.
Well, you know, Jason, the Starnes family, we're from West Tennessee, but we would vacation in East Tennessee, up in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and all that part of the country. So we're really familiar with that part of the state.
And you know how lucky we are to live in this part of the country. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, that's true.
So, if your listeners haven't been here, please come. Spend your tax dollars here. As a zero-income tax state, we love taking sales tax money from all these visitors.
And look, Tennesseans do a good job of that too, Jason. I want to ask you though about the issues. We had Diane Black on earlier in this hour of the show, and she's introduced the legislation to make it a felony to come into this country illegally. Is that a big issue in your part of the state, the illegal immigration issue?
It absolutely is. It is the biggest issue that people talk about whenever we go and engage with voters across the district. People understand that if you don't have a strong border, a secure border, and a safe border, then you don't have a country. And people feel like we have been taken advantage of as a nation. The line has been blurred along the border. You know, it's destabilized communities. It's allowed for human trafficking and drug trafficking, and it has to stop because we just can't continue on like this as a nation. And I think Congressman Black is absolutely correct in putting forth this bill, and it's the right thing to do, and it's critical that we get it through before this session passes in Congress. You
know, one of the other issues we've been talking about is public education, and of course, University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I'm a big fan of the volunteers, but quite frankly, there have been a lot of questionable things that have happened at that university. University of Kansas, we were talking about this earlier in the show, where they're flying right now at this moment a desecrated American flag. What can you guys do to curb this liberalism and this indoctrination that's happening in these public universities?
Well, I'll tell you what I did personally is I became an adjunct professor. And I took my conservative values and my conservative beliefs and gave an alternative way of looking at things and looking at the world and stepping up and providing something different to students. All they get is a liberal indoctrination. I faced it whenever I was just there volunteering my time, more or less, to show up on campus, and I got pushed back, and I was the big conservative boogeyman. You know, students and young adults and young Americans just need to hear alternatives. We are still a very center-right country. We're still a Judeo-Christian valued country. College universities and campuses will not admit that, and they try very hard to combat our values and our culture. And I think it's time for conservatives to kind of step up to the plate and get involved in academia and stand firm in our beliefs and work through that process to make sure that the next generation that we have coming up knows American history, knows American values, so that we can keep on being the greatest country the world has ever known, the greatest force for good the world has ever known. And it won't happen if we don't start fighting back at the most basic levels through education.
All right, well said. Jason, we're going to have to leave it there. Congratulations on the terrific ad, and the best of luck to you in the big primary coming up.
I appreciate it, Todd, and I'll just say your listeners visit jasonemmert.com for any more information, and we'd certainly love to have you all support.
All right. Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Emmert, one of the young guys, one of the young conservatives running for Congress in Tennessee. And one of the things we've promised to do on the radio show is talk about the big political races all over the country.